To find some of the country's most exciting new release plants, we've driven an hour out of Melbourne to Green Hills Plant Propagation in Tynong. Now, I've got Leah Opie join me. Now, Leah, tell us a little bit about Touch of Class plants.
Touch of Class plants specialise in new and promotional products. So we source products from around Australia and around the world and introduce them to the consumers.
You're all about new plants, aren't you, really?
We are,
Yeah,
yes.
and there's lots of really exciting ones. I've tried a few of them in my garden, and this is one that I'm so impressed with. But it's a Carex, isn't it?
It is a Carex Goldy. It's got lovely variegated foliage, and the foliage curls at the end. That's why we've called it Goldilocks. It forms ringlets as the foliage drops down. It grows about 50 centimetres by 50 centimetres, and it's really, really hardy.
Where does it come from?
It's a selection from New Zealand. But in saying that, it grows anywhere from Tasmania to Darwin here in Australia. It's
So even in the tropics?
Even in the tropics, yeah.
What I know about Carex is they do exceptionally well with wet feed, and I've got one growing in a wet spot in my garden. It's doing okay, but I've got another one growing in quite a dry spot in my garden, and it's doing sensationally well, twice as good.
Yeah, Carex Goldilocks does prefer a well-drained soil so that it's not sitting in water. Like you said, it will grow with a little bit of extra moisture, but it prefers a dry location.
So how do you recommend people look after it?
In the ground, fertilise annually with a long-term slow-release fertiliser. If it gets a bit big for your liking, you can prune it back maybe to a third of its size, and then it will reshoot the following spring.
And I bet that this does incredibly well as a pot plant as well.
It does, it does.
Leah, this is an absolute ripper. I'm sure there's others. Would you show us around and we can maybe pick out a few and feature them over the next few weeks of the show?
Sure, we'd love to.
Terrific.